Everybody can see me, see the screen and hear me as well.
Yes, Vanita, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let's start the class with the prayer. Close your eyes, palms together. Seek the blessing from His Guru, God, Goddesses. Simply pardon, slowly open your eyes. Okay. As usual, we have the three sections of the today's class. First, we are going to start with the kosha, then horoscope lessons, ending with the horoscope discussion. Okay. Let's see about the today's Pucharam. I will tell you why I showed you the north style chart also. Okay. This is the chart we used for the southern India chart. Mostly we are using this only. I will tell you the reasons why I am placing this also next to it. Okay. Mangal in the Mesha, Surya Buddhan in the Rishabha, Guru Shukra in the Midhuna, Chandra Ketu in the Simha, Rahu in the Kumbha, Shani in the Meena. Okay, as usual, we have to see this king and the queen, the sun, which is in the Rishabha month. So this is the second month. The last month is a Chitra. Now it comes into the Surya in the Rishabha month. Now let's see along with the Buddha. Now let's see about the queen. Queen is in the Chandra, Chandran along with the king. Okay, this is the beautiful combination. One cannot able to make a decision on it or for herself or himself. They take the decision also. They are not determined to go it in one side. Most of the time, they have the cat on the wall mindset. The Chandra Ketu combination will give that for them. Okay, who are the peoples have to take a keen look for today? The peoples who have the Sigma Lagna, Sigma Rasi. Sigma Rasi becomes the 8th house, 6th house, or the 4th house. This is the best day to check themselves. But fortunately or unfortunately, this particular day they may not be make themselves aware, particularly how what is the mind is going to work. The mind awareness, but for this particular day, they're not able to make it. If the in another terms, if they have in the Simharasi the same Chandra Ketu and the Gocharam also the Chandra Ketu, or if you have the Dasha Buddhi Chandra Ketu, then the story will be entirely different. It will give you the different dimension, different life, different scenes in your life. Okay? Other grahas we already saw about it. Okay, now let's see about the why I show you the Kendra northern style chart. When we see about the north side chart, northern style chart, the one thing we can easily understand is the Kendra. See, but the today's Lucknow, when I took this the Kocharam, it comes around 2:15, 2:15, at least 2 p.m. around 2 p.m. That is the time. When I took this chart, this is the Simha Lagna becomes this Simha Rasi becomes the first. That's the Lagna. You know, the person. So most of the time, when you see in the Pushara, the first thing you have to be take a look is. I already told you about the king and the queen, the Chandra and the Surya and the yearly planets. So this is the main thing you have to consider. Then importantly, what are the things your eyes have to fall upon? The first thing is the Kendra. Where you can see the Kendra easily in the north side chart, you can easily see the Kendra at the first look itself. See? Okay. Simha Rasi, what is the five? Five represents? Five represents the Simha. 2 represents the Rishabha. 11 represents the Kumbha. And 8 represents the Vrukshika. Okay. So what is that meaning? This is the Simha Rasi becomes the Lagna. This is the 1, 4, 7, 10. If you see here, the first is the Simha Rasi, Chandra and the Ketu here, Chandra and the Ketu here. And you go in the southern child chart. You can easily see here also when you practice your eyes, it will go automatically like a diamond. 1, 4, 1, 4, 7, and the last one is 10. And this one will easily count if your eyes was moving along with the 1, 4, 7, 10. Okay? In the Gocharam, I'm talking about the Gocharam. No. Okay. I took a look. Give me 1 second. My concentration was admitting only 1 minute. The Zoom workplace has a little bit different for in the last 2 months. I'm still understanding how it is working. Okay. Now get back to our questions. So when you see the north style chart, you can easily understand the Kendra. But if you practice again and again in your southern style chart also, you can easily understand what is the Kendra. So this is the time. This chart was taken around the 2 p.m. Indian time. This is the Puja. So for that, the Kendra, if your eye is moving into the 1, 4, 7, 10, you don't need to look up on into the north style chart. But if you easily want to find out, the easiest way is keep the north chart next to you, and you can easily find it 1, 4, 7, 10. Okay. Here, this is the one. Let's not slow the time. This is 4, and this is 7. This is 10. Here, number represents the name of the Rasi, the Lagna is it. Here, now today, when I took the Gosharam, the Lagna is in the Simha. So the fourth Rasi becomes the Vrikshaka, 7th becomes the Kumbha, 10th becomes the, if you see the number here, that becomes the houses. Okay? So don't confuse along with the Rasi and the houses. The Bhava is different, the Rashi is different. You have to be understand that. This much clear, right? Why I include this one? For easier understanding of the Kendra only, not more than that. Okay? That's it. Only you can easily see the Kendra in the north side, north side. They can easily represent here. But is that not easy in the southern chart? No, you can easily find out. If your eyes moves is 1, 4, 7, 10 very quickly, you don't need to use this. But for your understanding, I show this chart also. Okay. There is one more thing also easy in the north style. One is if you can easily understand the Kendra. Okay, then one question will come. Why I need to see the Kendra? See that if you in the Kosharam, if the grahas which is present in the Kendra, if it is an auspicious graha, that day will be it's for our understanding only. It's for your improving our knowledge. If the number of auspicious grahas present in that day, the auspicious is also increased. So now the Ketu Chandra in the Lagna. This is the best day for analyze yourself. How my mind will be. The stagnant, is the wavering, it's that exaggerating everything, it's finding fault in everything. Or you are happy, you are much more hopeful than yesterday. So you find yourself, okay? If the Surya Buddhan in the second, 10th house, 7th house, and 12th house, in the Gocharam, if you find the auspicious graha, it's a wonderful day. It's a kind of an experience you evolve from one day to another. So you can easily see the Trikona also. In here, the south model also, you can see that 1, this is 5, and this is 9. You can see the Trikona also here, but this one you have to practice. Okay, but here you can easily see that this is the Lagna, and this is the Lagna, and this becomes the 9 here. And right, it's and 159. Right. Oh, this is quite tough. Leave it. I have to look into here 157. Too much easier in the southern chart. Okay, the main thing I showed you the north one was to see the Kendra East. That's the only one thing I want to show. Okay, let's move on into the Pancha. Today's Tithi is the Navami, followed by the Dashami. Nakshatra is the Purva Palguni, followed by the Uttra Palguni. Yoga is the Harshana, followed by the Vajra. Karana is the Palava, Kauluva, and Taitala. Weekday is a Ravivara Paksha, here is a Shukla Paksha. Okay. The same thing representation here. So the Udvega is not an auspicious time. Okay, that is going to give you an obstacles, whichever the thing which you are going to start. Okay. We have to keep remember again and again. This is the base. We have to be very much strong in our base. The Galapurusha chart. At any moment, if you have to remember more any time, even if in your chart you analyze in only one Rashi also, you have to keep that in mind. The Kalapurusha is in your background. The Kalapurusha is the base. Top of that, the layer one is your birth chart. On top of that, Gocharam. On top of it, sorry, Dasha Buddhi. On top of that, Gocharam. The layered one combined together, you are going to give one answer. Okay. Now let's see about the 12th house. Now we are going to see the 12th house lord in the different bhavas. What does that mean? 12th lord in first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, to the till 12 houses. So when the 12th house lord sitting in the different bhavas, how it is behaved. That is what we are going to see. Vyaya means it's a thing which is going to give expenditure. It's going away from me, it's draining away from. Okay, all kind of an expenses. That lord is a 12th lord. Okay, Vyaya Sthana. Okay, mainly what is that represents? Before we coming into this one point, let's see about the positive side. It also represents your donations, which it's also
Did we finish 11th Lord in 9th, 10th, 12th house?
No,
Oh,
we
we are not
haven't
finished.
actually. No.
We have
From
not
9.
finished.
Yeah, from
Mhm.
9 we should
11th
start.
Lord
Yes.
in 9th, 10th, and
11 and
9th,
12.
10th, 11th, 12th, pending.
But why marking that's 11th Lord in 7 to 12 hours? It's not the last week. Okay, give me a
For
second.
last week till 8th we finished.
8th we have finished. Now we have to take up 11th Lord in 9th, 10th,
Really?
11th.
Okay, let's see that then. Wait a second. We only finished till how much?
8th.
8.
8 only. Okay, give me a second. I thought it we have to move into the 12th. If you see, my file name is also mentioned. It is a 7 to 12. Okay, I just you see the 11th house. Awesome. Everybody can see the PowerPoint, right?
Yep.
Okay. You will see till the 7th house finished. We are not starting in 11th house, right?
11th Lord in 9th house we need to do.
Till 8th house we done.
Yes.
We have to start with the 9th house.
Yes, correct.
Somewhat my naming convention is backfired on me. Hang on a second. Everybody can see this 11th Lord in 9th house, right?
Yes.
Everybody can see?
We can see.
Okay, first thing, the 11th Lord, what is that meant for? 11th Lord is 11th house is for your profit gain and fulfillment of your desires. It also represents your elder siblings. Keep that aside. Now that Lord who govern the 11th house is in your 9th house. Who's the 9th house is for? It's your father, fortune, philosophy, higher education, all kind of religious activities which you do in your life. You follow any ethics, cultural activities, everything comes under 9th. If it is for long travel or higher education, it is in the 9th house. Now the 11th Lord is in the 9th. Mostly the 11th Lord is it's implicitly considered as the auspicious house. 9th house is the Triguna Bhava. So the main Triguna Bhava, the first Triguna Bhava we read about it, that was the 9th. So 159 we read in Vitriguna, right? So now the 11th Lord is in the 9th house. Here, the Dana Yoga and Bhavat Bhavam is also represented. Okay, let me do post one. They said it was when the 11th Lord and 9th house, they mentioned it as the Dana Yoga. Okay. Then you may say, okay, my 11th Lord is in my 9th house, but I didn't have a Dana Yoga. So the Dana Yoga, it means in your horoscope. What is the Dana Yoga means? Yoga means is a combination of anything. When you mentioned about the yoga, what is the literal meaning? You are trying to join your mind and body soul in one line. That is a greater activity which you do. That is a yoga means. That is a unification. You joined all together in one straight line, one streamline. Here, when the line 11th Lord, which is for the profit you gain, which is going to sit in your 9th house. So that is going to give you the Dana Yoga. That is the basic rule. That even if you have a Dana Yoga, I didn't have the money, I didn't have the wealth, that is a totally different story. Why? We have to see the second house, we have to see the 6th house, 7th house, depends upon your career which you choose. We have to see the 10th house along with the 11th house. Even if it is 11th Lord in the 9th house, the yoga was there, the wealth was defined by somewhere else that it has present. Okay? And it is also the Bhava Bhava. Maybe you already know about it. So what is the Bhava Bhava? Okay? It's a scrap to million. What does it mean? These people didn't have anything, but they can able to rise above in your social level, and they can able to reach the highest top of the peak, at least in their community level also. Most of the time, these people are born to grow to a higher greater level. Mostly these peoples will have, when the 11th Lord in the 9th house means this is the profit and gain. Then here the Lord was sitting in the 9th house. That is your father. The father definitely become prosperous. Okay. Most of the time you inherit when the 9th house involved, you also inherit your karma from your parental, particularly if your father side. You inherit that legacy. It can be the talent, it can be the money, whichever it is, it can be the skill, it can be the karma, whichever it is, you inherit from your father's side. Okay. Most of the time, these peoples are very much goal-oriented peoples. Why the goal-oriented comes here? When the profit and gain was there, when the profit and gain was in here, the goal is automatically comes into the picture. And this is the very wonderful combination for leading into your success. Even if they are doing a number of endeavors in their life, it leads them into the success. Or in other terms, the luck follows them. Wherever they go, the luck is next to them. Most of the time, these people will reach the top in an organization. Okay? Whichever the thing they are trying to do, it is a kind of the Midas touch. There are the few combinations only comes with this Midas touch. One of them is the 11th Lord in the 9th house. Particularly in the financial arrangements. Whatever is any of the financial arrangements they make, they try to feel like, okay, I want to do this, I want that, I want to give them advice. Their advice is becomes the golden advice that will achieve the greater heights in the financial management itself. Anybody having 11th Lord in the 9th house? Okay. One wonderful example is the Paragraph. And if you see, you have to see the entire life history of him. But he has is the prosperous father or not, we didn't have an idea. But most of the time, he inherited the legacy, and he was very much goal oriented. How I know that? If you see his which you read his article, if you read his speech, we can easily understand him how much he is vision, how much he is moves toward his goal. And successful in any endeavors. This is a very wonderful person who success in his uh, incredible excellence.
I have a chart.
Yeah.
Kataka Lagna.
Okay, give me 1 minute. Let me verify here. Only 1 second. Kadaka Lagna.
And Shukra in 9th house.
Okay, 8th, who's the 8th Lord? Kadaka Lagna only, right? Oh, sorry. My mistake. You see the chart also, right now? Now?
We see only
I was in
that PPT.
11th. Yeah. This is it. Give me a second. Compose. Okay. Yeah. Now you see the chart also, right?
Yes, you can see.
Do you see the 11th Lord in the 9th house slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you see the Kadaga Lagna also, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Now the 11th Lord in the 9th house. Who's the 11th Lord here?
Actually, 4th Lord and 11th Lord both will come, and
Both
Shukra
also.
in 9th
Yes,
house.
correct. Absolutely. Okay. So,
Shukra is in 9th house.
Shukra is in which house? It's in the
Ninth.
Meena?
Yeah, Meena, correct.
Okay. Now which one is correct? Which one is
Yeah, first one, yes. Vision and goal oriented, yes. Successful in any endeavor, too young to say that. Same with reach the top.
Yeah.
Never
So
go
any
wrong,
ones.
also too young. So, yeah.
What is the age?
At early 20s.
So here the Venus is in the exalted position. When the Graha, which is in the exalted position, the Jataka may able to show his the quality of the Graha in the highest level. That is the possibility. But if it was in the 9th house and the Venus, and here it's the Lord of the 4th house also. So possibly you can see when the ages moves, when the years moves on, you can see all the things in his life also.
Yeah, maybe correct. Too young now too, because these are all very high goals, like so.
But particularly when the Dasha Buddhi was happening, when the Venus Dasha, Venus Buddhi, how you can see that exactly what is happening in here. Where if you know the Dasha, what is the Dasha Buddhi was happening, in every Dasha, the Venus Buddhi will come. At least one time, even if it was in anyone in any Dasha, the Buddhi will come. Or in the Dasha Buddhi was happening, the Antar is also come. Most of the time, the people would go beyond that. It's a kind of, you take it as an entire year, then comes into the month, then comes into the week, then comes into the day, comes into the hours, comes into the minutes. There are the people, they deep down and find out when this activity is happening, at which time, what minutes. You don't need to go into deeper into that level, but in a broader sense, you may stop at the Dasha and the Buddhi now. In every Dasha, the Buddhi will come, the Venus Buddhi will come. That point in time, you may see this kind of a thing. The vision and goal oriented will be tremendously clear in his path. Even before, why it was happening, because the Venus is going to give that kind of the stand to the Jataka. Even before the Buddhi, but the Venus is also going to do some other things as a side effect. What is going? Venus won't take the conventional path, always take the unconventional path. Nobody will think, nobody will want to touch, nobody want to practice, nobody want to do any kind of such thing. But these people are dare to step into that kind of fun, the path which is not taken by others. it is not, they are not against the conventional path. It is their mindset. The manufacturing in their body itself, it was going to do the same thing. Their nervous system will work in such a way. Why I am saying this? In the Sukracharya, if you see his the entire life of Sukracharya, he tried to do all the things which is not conventional. Even he was born in a greater family, a greater father. His father is the greater guru. He do all kind of the. He took the path which is not conventional in his heritage. But he is not a brilliant. He's such a stupid. No, he's a wonderful child, very brilliant, very effective. He was very quick in the skills to learn. If you ask him to learn anything, his grasping skill, his listening capacity, his knowledge was tremendous. So, why I need to say this? When you see the graha that is exalted, you have to keep that in mind. That graha is also going, that quality is also going to work in that person in different ways. That is the wonder. See, you may also see in the Meena Rashi, the Venus was exalted. You may see the number of the horoscope. They exhibited the Venus quality, but in a different fashion. One may exhibit the Venus quality in their dressing sense. One may exhibit in their beautifying their home. One may exhibit in the beautifying the relationship. One may exhibit in the profession. One may exhibit in the career. One may exhibit in decorating the car. You may see that kind of the people what they are doing. But is the quality will be magnified or not? It depends upon the individual. Okay. Okay, let's see. Anybody want to share any more chart? Can I move? Like the house?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Now let's. These are the people you have to try and find. I'm trying to practice. I skip this I skip this charts, which are for example to practice. Okay, now 11th Lord in the 10th. 11th Lord is for the Lavasthana, which is for your profit again, and which is going to tell you what you have a desire you are going to fulfill in this lifetime. So that is 11th Lord. 11th Lord that is sitting in this 11th Lord is seated in the 10th house. What is the 10th house is for? 10th house is for your career, image, profession, how the professional life will be, or how the world is going to see, how much the public, what kind of the public life you have. That is defined in the 10th. In another words, 11th house is the auspicious Rashi, auspicious house itself. And that the Lord is going to sit in one of the Kendra. What is the meaning of the Kendra? Why we need to give the importance to the Kendra? For the in Jataka, the Kendra, the Graha sitting in the Kendra are going to speak a greater level for an individual's life. The Kendra is then, if any of the Graha present in the Kendra, that is going to give you the energy into your body in a higher level, comparatively against the hidden houses. Okay? Now, what's special about this? When the 11th Lord in the 10th house is, they are going to is success in their profession, how they are trying to work in the professional life. And these are the peoples, they try to make a niche image for themselves. They are truly show themselves entirely different story to the world. It may be some of the professions, some people didn't even heard about it, but be successful in that. In some situation, they may not even heard about this kind of the work is possible, or you can learn from that, but these people can create that work, create the profession, their success in that also. When 11th Lord in the 10th house, these people their tendency towards hardworking. They want to work, they want to do. It becomes their nature for them. You won't see this person is very hardworking, but they are very, very interest towards working very hard. But you may not understand that, you may not feel it, but these people are really working. From the 11th Lord in the 10th house, they try to work hard towards the improvement in their profession. Importantly, these peoples are never going to show off. Okay, I was in this kind of a position, and I'm doing this kind of the greatness towards the world, and this much, that much. They won't show. They are very, very humble in nature, and you really wonder. Okay, one important thing, here note down this point, except the film stars, the people who live in the art and culture, they may try to show up because when the 11th Lord in the 10th house, there are some exceptions. There are themes. That is why the astrology also becomes question. Sometimes it becomes exclamation mark. There are some exceptions here. We may overcome that, overrule that kind of an exception. We ended up in a wrong kind of wrong answer. You mean, okay? Okay, here is a thing. Wherever they spend energy, they try to get equally rewarded, or they can. It's a kind of a balance. Their expenditure, their income will be somewhat. It will be comes towards them. In other words, imagine a situation: this one person was spending 100% of his energy. Is that going to gain the same amount of an energy at least? Yes, absolutely yes. If it was, in other words, they are trying to work for 1,000 rupees, they are going to reward it for 1,000 rupees? Absolutely yes. Here, the children are successful most of the time, the achiever of the professional goal. Okay, all together in simple words. In the 11th Lord in the 10th house, they're definitely professionally success. They are very humble in nature, and they are the hardworking persons. Remember these three things. 11th Lord in the 10th house is good for the profession. It's that going to help in the professional life? Absolutely yes. In speaking?
Yes, Vinita, I have the 11th Lord in the 10th house. Nina here.
Okay, give me a second. Lagna is the Rishabha Lagna, right?
Rishabha Lagna.
Okay.
And
Your
I
11th
have
Lord is the Guru, right?
Jupiter is in Kumbha.
Jupiter in the Kumbha. Okay, which one is exactly matching with this one?
I think more or less it matches. I mean, it
Which one is
99%.
not matching?
I don't have children, so that is out. And
Okay.
the rest is all matching.
Okay. This one you see this, other things?
Other things are matching. Like if I know something, I feel very embarrassed to tell anyone. I'd rather keep quiet about it. So you may call it humble, call it, but I just like to not tell anybody. I just like that they should see my work and know me from there rather than me talk about it. So I think it matches.
Okay, now because the Guru was in your 10th house, the story may differ when. Give me a second.
Okay.
Now you have the Rishabha Lagna, and the 10th house, the Guru was placed. The 11th Lord is in the 10th house, that is your Jupiter was placed. This exactly was matching. Now this is the homework for everyone. Okay, let's see. Now you have the Rahu in the 10th house, and the Ketu in your 4th house. Okay, anybody want to try how it will be? You may have the same luck. Let me mute. What I getting my voice back. Rishabha Lagna. Imagine a situation now, the inauspicious Graha is in the 10th house, 11th. But here the thing, this 1 point won't come. Okay. Here the 11th Lord in the 10th house is we only know to consider because of the Rahu and the Ketu. Now the 11th Lord in the 10th house means the Lord which is we are considering. Okay, now I don't want to confuse you here. I just want to make you a different point of view. But don't confuse with this one line. The 11th Lord in the 10th house, this is only for the Grahas is excluding the Rahu and the Ketu. Who's having the real houses? See, Mars having the two houses, Guru's having the two houses, Shani having two houses, and the Buddhan having the two houses, Surya and Chandra will have one house. That is the Lord we are talking about here. You may also have to think about the Rahu and the Ketu. That's why in fine time you will see the Rahu and Ketu in different classes. But imagine a situation. This is only imagination. This is not regarding the 11th Lord in the 10th house. But in the same 10th house, you have the Rahu. Okay? How this will be? You should not remember this one. That's what I'm trying to say. You got his point, right? Here the story is different. Okay? This person is industrious, yes. But he tried to show off everything. That is the nature of the Rahu. You should not neglect that. Even humbleness is the side story for him. Possibly or impossibly, it may becomes an acting. But show off is there, humbleness may not be there. It's a kind of pretending, try to pretend for everything. But hard working, yes. But working in an exaggerated way. It's always working, the mind was working towards an illusion. If the same person was taking the profession as an illusion related works, he or she will be successful. Okay? I'm trying to show the difference, not relating with this kind of a scenario. Okay? Let's move on.
Vanita, I have two charts of the same, but two different grahas. But
Okay. Let's see that then.
the first is this one, Simha Lagna.
Means Lucknow.
Simha Lagna, and the Lord is the 11th Lord is Mercury, and he is in the 10th house.
It's in the Rishabha Rasi, right?
Rishabha Rasi, yeah. And the second chart is actually.
Let's see this one first.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
Which one is exactly matching? Which is?
I think almost everything. Yeah.
Mm.
But I don't know about, because I don't know, the spend energy, money equally rewarded, that I cannot answer. But other than that, what I know is everything else, it goes perfect. For this.
How they create the niche beliefs for themselves? He or she.
No, because that's wherever that job they have gone, they have created and they've got awards. So I think probably that is where I can say that they must have created their own image. So, but they are hardworking. So that part of it. So probably that's why I'm relating the first point. But I don't know about the money part and those kind of things. I don't know. And children are also, maybe child is too young, so we can't say anything about it because they are youngsters. So maybe they'll be successful. That's what. So the guess is that. But other than that, I know they're very humble, never show off. They're all big Google scholars and like from MIT and all this. So, but still I know they don't show off and they are very, very down to earth. So that's why this part of it, I can vouch for those kind of things. And one more which I have is actually.
Wait. Let's finish this one. This is the one important thing. When the Mercury is the 10th, Mercury is the 11th Lord, but he's also the second house Lord, right? So here this is the wonderful combination. When the 2, 10 and 11 combined together, but the 2 is the house of the Lord, which is sitting in the 10th. So this is the combination of the 2, 10 and 11. When this combination was combined, they earn good money from the profession. Whatever they do, the money, the profit gains will come. They fulfill the desires based on one thing is the desires is based on the second house of the 10th house. Is that will be fulfilled? Yes, it will be. But this is the wonderful combinations. The money flow will be good because it was in the second house and he connected with the 10 and the 11. And then the money flow will be really good. Okay. Now let's see about your next chart. Which Lagna it is?
That is Meena Lagna.
Meena Lagna.
But Saturn being the 11th Lord in Makaram, that is and he is in the Dhanus.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how is it? This one will be.
This also I know he has a good image for himself, and he is doing very well in his work. That I know. And silent, very silent, hardworking, also very industrious. Humble, never shows off. That also I know. But again, the last 2 points I can't say about that. That part of it, I don't know. And of course, professional goals he achieves. That time, that part of it. So he's a quick learner, and all that. He learns a lot of new things, and he applies in his work. That much I know. Because now recently he's into AI, and also he's added up that part of it into his work. So that's why I know he learns a lot of that. So the money part I don't know, and child, that part I know.
Okay, here is an interesting thing about the Saturn. Whenever the Saturn is sitting in your 10th house, the humbleness which comes as a side effect. If they try to pretend to show off, also they can't able to do it. They come back to their own nature. That's a humbleness. When the Saturn was in the 10th house, it becomes even they try to pretend for 1 day or 2 days, but again they come back to their nature humbleness. And here is the thing: whenever they spend energy, the money will be equally rewarded. Exactly true for when the graha is a Saturn. The Saturn is a kind of the justice graha. It is going to, if you are true to your work, true to your profession, true to whichever honor you follow, the Saturn is going to exactly give you. Imagine a situation: I'm going to spend 1,000 crores valuable energy, and that's kind of the hard work I put in, and I'm going to get the same thing. Getting beyond is the next story, but I won't get degraded below that energy whichever I spend, but equally I will be rewarded. That is the nature of the Saturn. Saturn is going to give you, okay, this amount of the energy you spend, you will get exactly rewarded. That's one of the greatest quality of the Saturn. Most of the time, what we will learn in the previous classes, okay, Saturn is a lazy, Saturn is going to delay this, that, and all, right? That this wonderful quality also you have to keep in mind. How much you spend your energy, this one quality is exactly matched for the Saturn. Okay? So let's move on. There are the other people who go on with the same thing, 11th Lord in the 10th house. And in our circle, you people may know about them. You find their chart, try to find out, try to analyze, and you may get a different outlook. Now the 11th Lord in the 11th. Okay, this is the best of best. Okay, why? Because here again the Dana Yoga will come. 11th house, we already know about it. What is the 11th house? The profit gains, fulfills life, your desire, what cash flow you have, what kind of the wealth you maybe have in this lifetime. Exactly. Elder siblings. Okay. When the 11th Lord in the 11th house, they help you may get the help, advice, recommendations from your elder siblings. They becomes your next pillar in your life. You can catch their hand to walk into their life. That is one thing. Are you able to fulfill your desires? Absolutely yes. Okay. These people, in basically, they are very knowledgeable. They are very knowledgeable and qualified and experienced also. They have this creativity. They do all kind of this stuff. Mostly this in simple words. When the 11th Lord in the 11th house, they are knowledgeable. They are hardworking. And importantly, they won't take risk in life. But the money will flow, money will definitely flow. Follow the principle law of land. I don't got this, but they won't take risk in their life. But these people are really hardworking. The money will come to them. They are very knowledgeable. And they will also get the help if they have a discipline. Their support will help them in leading their life, successful life. Okay, here is the thing. As the 11th is the second from the 10th, profession will fetch the man's wealth. A simple thing, right? Let's see. Somebody was asking why this kind of confusion, how I can know this. So let's see about here. Now we have the Mesha Lagna. So here, your 11th lord is the Saturn. Saturn in the 11th house. So Saturn is in the 11th house. Now, this is the chart. As the 11th is the second from the 10th. Who's the 10th here? That is your profession. Okay? That is your profession, 10. The 11th is the second from the 10th. The profession will fetch a man's wealth. Here is the thing. Whichever when the 11th lord in the 11th house, even in the earlier classes, I may also say this as one of the rule. The grahas, the Rashi which you have to take a look, you also have to take a look at the next two Rashis, and the next two Rashis two behind it. Okay, it's a kind of confusion in the beginning, but you also know about this technique. If you know about your profession, the 11th has become the second for this one, right? So you have the immense wealth from your profession. How you earn the money from your money in your life, that is from your profession. Is that the immense wealth or the moderate wealth? No, it becomes the immense. Why? It is 11th house. Is that clear? Or is it more confused? Anybody having the 11th house and 11 is the Lord in the 11th house itself? Okay. Okay. One interesting thing. If you find any people is having the 11th Lord in the 11th house, don't hesitate to see the horoscope. Just to go ahead and say it. You will find the interesting thing in the horoscope. Okay? Now there are the other peoples who have the same thing. If you find any of these people's horoscope, try to read their horoscope. That's quite interesting. Okay, now 11th lord in the 12th house. Okay, the 12th house is also for the displacement, detachment, liberation, moksha, expenditure, everything. The 12th house is also represent about your sleeping nature, pleasures, everything. Okay. Now, the 11th lord is in the 12th house. What is the 11th house? Is for your profits, gains, expenditure. So, profits, gains, fulfillment of your desires, recipients. Now, that lord who governs that is sitting in the 12th house. Okay. These people are the liberated souls. Okay. Liberated souls means they may become liberated souls. It depends upon the individual as well. You have to see the Lagna also. But consider when the 11th lord in the 12th house means it's a liberated souls. Okay? Mostly these people won't have, when the 12th house, 11th lord in the 12th house means the greediness will be completely vanished. Is that means they didn't have the trace? No, the trace will be there, but the greediness will be tremendously reduced. Mostly you may see there is no greed. Okay? It's a kind of the thing they will say how these people can spend this much. Okay, you may also heard about it. Okay, they spend this much, that God is giving them money. That is the point. The 11th lord is sitting in the 12th house. Okay, Jadaka, who is very much have received pleasure and giving. Because the 11th lord in the 12th house, it's a kind of an expense. It's a kind of 12th house is also for your donation. It's also for your investment. When they try, when the 11th lord in the 12th house means, even if they invest how much they are happy, they are that much happy when they are giving. Okay. These peoples are one of the busiest peoples in the world. They make the difference in the world. It can be in their community, it can be in their entire world. You may heard about this one person in the African countries who built the kind which is in the instrument which is involving in the electrical. There, the electricity was really rare, scarcity was really high. But this one kid was, you may also see this his talk in the TED and other speech also. He's very small kid, but he's, if I'm not wrong, there is also documentary about this kid also. When I saw this, I related with this 11th Lord in the 12th house. These people will try to make the difference in the world itself, whichever they live. Can be in the economic wise, it can be in the relation wise. Whichever it is, they try to make a difference in the world. Anybody having the 11th Lord in the 12th house?
I do.
Okay, thanks.
Meena Lagna.
11th Lord is a Saturn. Saturn was in the 12th house.
12th house. Yeah, in Kumbha.
Okay. Which one is exactly matching? Which is?
I think the first few points are okay. The last point, I don't know. I haven't heard anything if I made any difference in the world, but I mean, I think the others make sense.
The make a difference is you may not be aware. Okay, contribute in different way that make a difference in the world. When I say about this, the African kid, it was really prominent. Everybody was around their community was really appreciating him because he did make such a difference that is explicitly no to everybody. Is that not possible? Because here the Saturn was sitting in the 12th house means it's really impossible you realize the difference which you made to the world. Because Saturn is like that only, there are some typical qualities of the Saturn which you have to be understand in the different way. Mostly we heard in the books and when the astrologers are speaking, they tell they mostly concentrate on one thing about the Saturn is it's delay, it's about the lazy, it's about discipline. But the Saturn is also having the different qualities, which we saw in the previous slide also. Once you spend energy, you gain you equally rewarded. That was one thing. And even whatever the work you do, you won't understand the work. That is one of the nature of the Saturn. That's why maybe you may not understand the difference which you made to the world because Saturn was here. That's easily understandable. But you did or not, you may understand in the later stages. But the work which you did, you may not realize at this moment. But you may be realized in the upcoming years, in 2 years, 3 years later. So, okay, there are the people who made the differences. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, everybody knows about him. And Ravi Shankar, he did a lots and lots of difference. And our Prime Minister, we know about him. Okay, this wonderful lady, he did make a difference in a different way. And Dhrubai Ambani, the one person who did the business totally in his own gigs. Okay. So, celebrity in King's life, I guess as well. Sorry, really? We'll see the horoscope. Give me a second. Share the slide. Now we're coming into the last section, that is the horoscope discussion. Now we're still discussing about the harmonics of horoscope. The Lagna is a Meena Lagna. Lagnadipati is the Jupiter. We know about this Kendra or combination. In the Kendra, there was no Graha in the Lagna, Rahu in the 4th house. There is no Graha in the 7th house. 10th house, we have the Ketu. So if you see in the Kendra, only Rahu and the Ketu. Okay. Now let's see about the Tribuna. That was the ascendant. There was no Graha in it. In the 5th house, there was a Sun and the Mercury. And the 9th house, there was no Graha present. So, is there any house? Is there any planets in the hidden houses? Yes. In the 6th house, no. 8th house, the moon was present. In the 12th house, the sun was retro. Keep that in mind. Now we are going to see his 10th house, which is this. That is the Dhanur Rashi. Graha present in his Ketu. Who is the Lord? Guru is the Lord. That is Jupiter is the Lord. What is the element present in here? This is the fire element, the dual in nature. We already know about this, right? The Karna Rashi is the dual in nature. And the Dhanur is again one of the Karna Rashi. So dual in nature. Male is an energy. Fire is an element. Why we need to keep this in mind? Because that is the quality which we are going to combine against with the Graha which is present in it. Okay? Now let's see about the Ketu. Ketu is the Jnana Karaka who is beyond the wisdom. He's interested in the material life. Ketu, no. He is interested in the material life, no. Sorry, no, it's a no. Health is no. Relation, no. But what is going to give you? He's going to give you the spiritual wisdom in a different way. If you step towards one step towards the spirituality, he leads you to 100 steps. Okay, that's the power of the Ketu. Okay, now the 10th, that's about the Ketu. Now let's see about the Bhava. The 10th house is, anybody remember what is the 10th house is for?
Karmasthana.
Karmasthana, that is also for your career, profession, what authority you hold in this lifetime, and your reputation, your public life representing we are in the 10th house. When the Ketu was present here, even if you are very good in your profession, even if you are very much interested in your profession, at the end of the at the end of the journey, it leads you into the spiritual. It's pull you towards the spiritual. There is no chance you escape from that because you willingly go. That's a nature. That's a nature built in you. It pull you towards that spirituality. Knowingly or unknowingly, you step into the spiritual. That's the Ketu in the 10th house will represent. Anyone want to add into here?
He also has drishti of Guru.
The Guru will increase that energy. That's why that's why you are not leaving your family. That's why you are not leaving your wealth creation. That's why you are not leaving your relation. You still withhold in this life whatever you have in your family, the family setup surroundings, but still you pursuing the spiritual energy. That was one thing.
Also has drishti of Kuja. I don't know how that makes a difference. What it makes.
Okay. Here is the thing. Let me see why I missed this one. Okay, let's see. There was the Saturn was retrograde Saturn aspecting, and one or the other way the people see here combined with the Ketu and Moon, correct? And the Ketu and the Saturn retrograde. Now, let's see about the game. How come you the Ketu aspect? Did I miss anything? 5. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Uh-oh. Stop. So they don't have so 8. So when the Mars and the Ketu was combined, the energy will drive you towards. Okay, here even the Ketu and the Mars combined also possibly you may think that okay, the Mars will take over. No, the Ketu will take over. The Mars will give that kind of the driving push, and the end of the day, it's all ending up with this spiritual journey. Okay. Anything you are missing here? Anything you want to add here? Anybody want to add?
No, nothing is missing. Yeah, I guess, it probably this is the reason why I was led into some, I'm kind of leading a very spiritual life, but also, like you said, in a family environment. I'm very much connected with the social life, but at the same time, I'm also practicing adhyatma. So
When the Ketu was in the 10th, this is about the journey which leads you into. But when it comes into see in this lifetime, what is the 10th house will represent? 10th house will represent about the professional life. Is that it is easy for you when the Ketu was present? No need to know. How is your success in your professional life? It is an easiest cakewalk for you, or you struggle at every time and you know that obstacle it was like you put all your energy and you're exhausted at that, then you move forward.
not really, not exhausted that kind, but I was a hard worker, and I got all the recognition for my hard work. I have a very good reputation. Had a very good reputation at work. And one thing I don't know. My work was really short. The career life was short, but it was very unique. Unique. I don't know how I can explain, but I don't think many people get the opportunity to do work like I did. Kind of. I'm a mechanical engineer, but I did all the work in the IT environment. But in the IT environment, it was all very unique. I have worked in the libraries. I have worked in the trading floor, which is a very stressful environment to support the IT systems for the traders. With all the real-time market data that is being accessed by the traders. And in those days, everything was all through telecommunication. All the deals were made through brokers. So it was a very unique, busy work environment with, dealing with a lot of people's emotions at that time, because people behave differently when they make money, when they lose money. So it was kind of, I was more stable and, did my work and efficiently. And so they never, they were completely satisfied with my career, my work at that time. And also I worked in a very different industrial environment in a refinery, which is like 4,000 acres. It's a very huge refinery, providing support, IT support, maintaining the communications of voice, data, video inside the network, as well as to the internet and all that. And also, I had an opportunity work in the offshore in the oil rigs and platforms, going through different kind of trainings, like helicopter underwater egress trainings or water survival training and things like that. By the way, I don't swim. I'm not a good swimmer, but still I was going to the middle of the sea, which is 120 miles away from the shore, from the land, and and staying there for sometimes the maximum I stayed was like 2 weeks, but I made several visits going in the helicopter and maintaining communications in the on the platform. It's basically a small office with 120 people and things like that. So it's we can say kind of adventurous career. I don't and to work in all these three areas, like working in the docks, the terminals, working in the refinery, working in the trading floor, and working in the offshore business. Not everybody in the industry, even in the oil and gas industry, get to work in all these three environments. There are three what you call three different domains or pillars, midstream, upstream, and downstream, they call in oil and gas. So I had the opportunity to work in all three. So I consider it was very unique, and it was a blessing, and I did well in all three business pillars. So but it was only for 20 years. And then after that, I just did some consulting for another 5-6 years, and that's it. I'm, I don't have much anything going on, so I'm kind of retired. But again, it was very unique, but it was very short compared to my friends who worked for like more than 30 years before they retired. So.
That tells you everything, because the Mars is going to give you the tremendous courage, and the Saturn is retrograde. Saturn gave you the determination and the discipline, and the 8th house moon will give you that kind of the mind health, and along with the Ketu. Now, when I reading your chart, I was really wondered when the Mars was here and the Ketu was in the 10th house, what kind of the profession he will work. And now, when you explain it, was explain everything. The Saturn is giving you that kind of, when retrograde Saturn aspect means, it is definitely give you that kind of a discipline, knowingly or unknowingly. You may think, oh, this is the man.
It's very disciplined. I'm a very disciplined person. Yes.
This will give you that, because along with the Ketu was aspecting means you know, even if somebody was pulling you, okay, you just relax and you can do whatever you want. You won't do it because you come into that kind of the boundary again, and the Mars becomes a driving action for you. When you said about this communication and the telecom, that will definitely give you the greater success, because the Mars is in the 3rd house along with the Venus, and it is respecting the Ketu. That's really wonderful combination. And Moon in the 8th house will really helpful in your mind health. Most of the time, we'll think about when the Moon in the 8th house, that is in the hidden house, it may not work favorable to you. But here, the Moon is, the Ketu is aspecting the Moon as well.
And Jupiter is also aspecting Moon, so.
Yeah. Imagine a situation, now you don't have the Jupiter aspecting, you only have the Ketu and the Moon. If then the story will be a little bit different, because the Ketu aspecting the Moon makes you the plenty of choices in front of you, and you become that you may not even decide exactly what it is. But here the Jupiter will come and it shows its aspect. It's filtering. Okay, this is the thing which you need. That's why when you said about, okay, even if the situation was so much chaotic, and I was in my stable state, and I can hear the other people's very well. Whose energy was involved here? The Mars energy was involved, because he's reading the situation, and the Ketu was giving you the wisdom. The Jupiter was giving you that kind of the knowledge, and the Moon was stable here. The Moon is not unstable. Moon was stable, and you become the discipline becomes the nature. Everything comes up to the picture, and the situation is under your control. This is really
Yeah.
wonderful. This is
Yeah, but
really.
I wonder why it is so. The career was not like other people's. Like that's why I was telling you, it's like unique. Actually, I consider it's a very unique career because it was not long. It was most of my friends worked for like 30 plus years, but I worked only for 20 and 20, maybe 23, 24 years.
Oh no, that's wrong. Because even the Ketu was in your 10th house, you working for 23 hours, 23 years. I would say it is the greatest miracle.
Mm.
This is really awesome. Beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Anybody want to add here? Thank you so much. We end the class here. We'll have the class next week then.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Next weekend, I may not be able to attend. I will be visiting Kedarnath from
Oh my God.
Wednesday. I'll be going to Kedarnath on Wednesday.
So you finished your Kanyakumari trip?
I didn't go to Kanyakumari, but I went to Kaladi and that Amma Amritanandamayi ashram.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was.
You only mentioned about you had the hug from.
Yes. It was a wonderful experience. It was a good experience. Yeah, and it was because I didn't have much time. I went on a Thursday and came back on Monday morning. Didn't have much time to go to Kanyakumari and other places. And in fact, I was out yesterday and day before yesterday, and I just came back today. And I'll go back on Wednesday. I will go for another 10-day trip. So another thing, I don't know what makes me travel so much in my heart, in my chart. I don't know what is there, but I have very frequent, when I travel, I travel quite a bit, and then maybe after some time I won't travel for some time, and then when I start, it will be like continuous, because my lagna is Meena lagna, so I don't know if it is because dual nature. Sometimes I, travel as Sthira, and sometimes I do Chara, whatever.
The Damartananda, my experience I had when I was 15 years back, I guess, that was a totally different experience for me. And we didn't have a plan to meet her. And we went into the ashram, then we waited for they said, there is a satsang will happen in the evening, and you can meet the Amma at the end of the session. And we waited, and I felt like, okay, this is my first time I'm seeing her. Okay, and in my entire life, I'm seeing the one woman in the spiritual journey. It was really a new thing for me. And the environment was entirely different, and the dimension which I had the perception before met her and after met her, that was totally different. And I had the hug from her also. That was totally different. When somebody was hugging you, it was like one child was hugging you. That kind of the mild energy. Then, because we had a hug from different people's, right? But that was really wonderful thing. And how one grown person was, and when you met her, she was really big, right? And I felt, how come this was so child, and one child was hugging you, how much you feel, and that was different experience for me to feel. And when I see your message, I remember the exact moment, and it was in front of my front of my eyes. It was exactly what happened that day.
And it was not for public appearance that day, for somehow, we were there, and so I had made some arrangements through one of my friends who kind of helped her, who had helped her a long time ago, and so somehow we had a chance to go and stay, and again, we attended the satsang, and it was one Guruji came and introduced, Guruji from Bangalore ashram came and introduced us to the Amma, and so it was it was very special occasion, special occasion for me. So.
And that was really different. Oh, you're lucky then. Super.
Yeah, well, again, I don't know. Luck is always, helping me. I guess I didn't. Even Kedarnath. Last time I told you, we were able to do the Abhishekam ourselves. We were able
Are
to.
you climbing?
No.
No.
We will will take a chopper. Actually, that
Chopper, I
also
heard it is like 2.5 lakhs. Is that so?
that is for complete Char Dham. But
Oh.
for Kedar alone, I think it is only one way is 8,000 something, and two ways like 16,000.
Okay.
But it is very difficult to get the tickets. And again, one of my friends, he's helping us. Hope everything works out. He's an IAS officer, but he's now retired. So he's trying to get the ticket. I think we will get. I think they had stopped all the visitors coming to Kedarnath because there are too many people coming, and no new registrations. You have to register to go to Char Dham with Uttarakhand Tourism Department, but they are not accepting any new registrations because there are too many people that are traveling. Crowd control has been very, very difficult this year. So hopefully we are going to be able to do that. And also this time we are going to other they call Pancha Kedar. They have Kedarnath, Rudranath, Madhya Maheshwar, Tunganath, and Kalpeshwar. So, except I think we are not going to go to Rudranath, but we will go to Madhya Maheshwar and Tunganath, Kalpeshwar, and hopefully Kedarnath.
Oh my God, that's really a blessing. Because I read from the Shriyam book only. Earlier I believe there was only one Kedarnath, and he was explaining like no, there was no only one Kedarnath. There are the different Kedarnath. He said it was 12, 6 or something, and it was
five Pancha Kedar. Yeah.
That was the known to the normal people like us. And that Kedarnath, he said, it won't be visible, and there is no crowd in that place, and it won't be easy to reach also. And
that's probably Tunganath because it's the highest standing temple. It's about 12,000 feet
oh my God.
altitude. That is Tunganath. Not many people go there. You have to trek 4 kilometers.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of tough because that's 12,000 is the high. It's quite tall. Yeah, quite an high altitude. But and one other. I don't know if you say 6, but it may be including Pashupatinath, where the head came, something like that. Because I think it all it is. Panchakedar is from the Mahabharata story after Pandavas, got old after all the war and everything. When they wanted to get rid of all the papa, the bad things that they did, killing their teacher and all that. So they went to ask forgiveness to Shiva, and then they tried to grab. Shiva was hiding because he didn't want to pardon them for their mistakes. So Bhima kind of tried to approach that bull, which the Lord had taken form, and the bull went straight into the earth, straight into the ground. But when he tried to catch, he only got hold of the back. So that is the Kedarnath. But the other parts, like a hand and mukha and all that, like the mouth and all that, they came in different places. So those are the 5 Kedars. And then the Shira, the head, has risen back in Pashupatinath. That's what the story was.
But one which I mentioned about this Shriyam, it was mentioned in his book, in the kind of biography of him. It's a continuation of 2 books. But whatever he mentioned about mostly about the Kashi also and about the Kedarnath also. He went along with his guru. But when I tried to see what are the places he tried to see in the Kashi, I was not able to do. Then I thought, okay, his mindset and the guidance from his guru was different. And that in that place only, he said he visited the different Kedarnath, which is not mostly the people who want to come into that kind of the Kedarnath. He visited every Kedarnath along with his school. So it's a kind of 2 years of journey, I guess. He explained in his book, and he's explained more things in about the Kashi also. When I went to the Kashi and see the Kashi in my eyes, I couldn't even find anything. I thought, okay, let it be. Whatever it is his point of view. Because he had
I'll post a video of this story that I heard. I mean, I think it seems like the story. This is the same thing that I heard in Pashupatinath temple also. So you know, it may be that's probably the belief in the that part of India, Uttarakhand and Nepal. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for your time. I think it's getting delayed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.